Right, morning people. It's a Sunday morning. Haven't done this in a while. Been a bit tied up, bit busy. So let's see about a survival mode puzzle rush. See if I'm too out of practice to beat that 50. Probably. Leaderboard in the last hour. 47 is the top score in the last hour. No master players there. So I reckon if we go to the daily leaderboard, there's probably loads of master players on that one. And there is. But having said that, even the top Grandmaster score for today is so far only 69. There it is, 65, 64, 61. So, all right. Ooh. Could we possibly get 55? Probably not. That's a bit too hopeful. Okay. Anyway, let's see how we get on. So if anyone's not seen this before, we get unlimited puzzles. Well, not quite unlimited because you only get 3 lives. Third one wrong, game over. They start extremely easy, get much harder. We usually get to around 25 before they start getting more in need of thought, should we say. So let's go. Well, this will just be a back rank checkmate. Yeah, okay. So we put the rook up to here. Because the king is blocked in by the pawns, the only way for white to block checkmate will be to do this. But our rook will simply hoover them up and gobble the king along the back rank. So check. Takes is check, and that is checkmate, all forced. As I say, they start easy. Right, this is very similar. The knight's guarding the escape square, the pawns are blocking the other two, so it's exactly the same. Rook here, the 2 white rooks can block, but it won't do any good. So here, takes, and that's checkmate because the knight is guarding f2, so the king has no escape square. Yay! Now, I think this is the 2 pawns are guarding the 2 escape squares, so it's a very similar thing. Rook gets the king that way, and because the 2 pawns are blocking the possible 7th rank squares, that's checkmate. All right, this is a simple queen sacrifice. So queen takes rook. It's another back rank mate. The only solution is rook takes queen, but then our other rook captures, and it's checkmate. The king blocked in by his own pawns. So very straightforward so far. So queen takes rook, check. Rook takes queen, and rook takes rook is mate. Let's leave that there. All right. So this is the first one where it's not going to be a checkmate. My instinct is to put the knight here, which is a 3-way fork. Forks the bishop, although the bishop is defended. Forks the queen, forks the pawns, so it's a 4-way fork, but the pawn's defended very well, and forks this square. I don't think there's actually anything else here. There's no other threats, no other checks, no other captures. So this has got to be knight here. Oh, that was it. That was a weird puzzle. That was a strange one. Okay, we're back to forcing back rank checkmates here. This is going to be queen takes pawn because the rook supports. The king will have to go to the corner, and then it's queened here to f8. Rook takes f8, and our rook takes f8, checkmate. So here we go. Queen takes pawn will be check. The king can't take the queen because she's protected by the rook from f1, so he'll have to go to h8. Queen to f8, check. The only way to escape is for the rook to take the queen. And now rook takes rook is checkmate. Okay. What are we doing here? Checkmate. Sorry, I did know the answer to that. I was just having a mouthful of coffee. I'm not that bad. Yeah, so it's checkmate here. The rook will protect the queen, and the queen guards all the escape squares as well as attacking the king. So that's checkmate. And the rook from the bottom left corner there on h8 protects the queen. Okay, now this one we've got the bishop slicing along the dark squares, and so queen to g7 will be mate because the bishop protects the queen. So when I said they start off early, I wasn't kidding. This is going to be mate in 3, but in 2 different queen there, pawn there, takes. Yeah, mate in 3. But there's actually 2 different ways to do this. I hope the computer doesn't demand only one solution, because this has got 2 solutions. Anyway, queen to h5 check. The knight is guarding these 2 squares, so the only move will be to put the pawn in the way. And then we can play queen takes pawn, check, pawn takes, and bishop takes will be mate. So here, And in fact, it's interesting, it didn't even make me play the rest of the puzzle, so I'm glad. Okay, very similar. So queen takes pawn, king will have to go to the corner, queen here, rook takes, mate. So we're seeing this pattern quite a lot in Puzzle Rush, and particularly a lot today. Checkmate. So the first 10 are down without any incident. Okay, that's my coffee gone. This one is to do with the fact that this bishop can sort of x-ray this rook. And so if we play knight takes knight, if black wastes a move or spends a move playing bishop captures knight to recover, then we can just take the rook. So this is a straightforward one. This must be knight takes knight. Sure. And then bishop takes rook and we're a rook up. There we go. Okay, well, this is a more complicated position, but the actual pattern is no different to what we've seen. Takes, check, check. There's actually too many of these back rank ones now, I think. And again, yeah, look, there's just too many of it. So let's just continually do that. Okay, now this must be rook here. Now that's check, and it forks the king and queen, and the rook's protected by the pawn. But the big point is if black plays knight takes rook, well, the knight's pinned, we have queen takes queen. So rook check, as you can see, it's forking the king and queen. If knight takes rook, king takes queen, queen takes queen even. And if the king just moves out the way, well, then we play rook takes queen. So, and in fact, queen takes rook is the best that black can do. So we've won. Okay. This is queen here check. King goes to the corner, we'll do that mate pattern. But if the king goes here, queen here forces the king back, and that's not quite doing it. So this one actually needs a little bit more thought. Okay. This should be obvious. What am I missing here? Why isn't this queen here? If the king goes here, oh, we've got queen takes there, maybe? But that isn't actually winning. Right, okay, this one needs a little bit of thought. It's not queen takes rook because the queen is defending. It's not rook check because there. I'm probably missing something obvious here because an 800 strength puzzle, clearly I should be doing pretty much literally with my eyes shut. What am I missing? I'm missing something stupid here, aren't I? Let's just go there. It has to be. Oh, why has he not gone here? What have I missed about that? Oh, if he goes to the, okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah, if the king goes to this square, it's not queen takes pawn, it's rook takes pawn, is mate. Because the rook and the queen are doing that and the queen's guarding that square. Yeah, okay, I was actually just being silly. There you go. That's what Sunday morning does to you. And there's the back rank checkmate again. Okay, this must be check, king moves, check, king moves, checkmate, supported by the bishop and the pawns guarding there. So check, check, mate. Okay, cool. Okay, I think this is going to be a distraction because this bishop is pinned. So if I, and it's attacked, if I play rook takes, queen takes bishop check, king will do something, and then we have queen takes rook. I think that's probably rook takes pawn. Just want to make absolutely sure. I don't see anything else. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah. Then queen takes, and then queen takes. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm just going to pause the recording for a sec while I go and make. Right, okay, I'm back. So what did we get here? So we got a new puzzle. So white's moved the rook back to attack the queen. Okay, so what are we doing here? I've got out of rhythm now, haven't I? So that's annoying. Is queen takes rook a move here? I mean, we can't go there because obviously the rook defends that one. We can't go there because the rook defends that one. Is queen takes rook a move? No, it can't be. It doesn't make any, no, it can't be. Well, it could be. Queen takes rook, something takes, rook takes bishop, but then no, I can't. No. Maybe if I can't, oh, I'm such an idiot. Look, you can tell I've just been to to the toilet and got another coffee and whatever, because I'm totally not in it. How about I just checkmate on the move, well, almost on the move, by doing this, and then queen takes bishop. There we go. Oh, goodness me, do try to wake up. Right, okay. I've woken up now. This is going to be queen takes queen, and then we're going to run this pawn because white won't be, there goes the washing up. If you heard that noise, that was a cup falling over on the sink. Yeah, so queen takes, and now white can't catch this pawn. Doesn't matter. He's just going to get, yeah, caught. Okay. Is there anything to be said because of this? I don't think so. Oh, yes, there is. It is to do with this pattern of the queen seeing the unprotected rook, but I need to do something first because I need a threat. So if I play rook takes rook, king takes, then play rook takes pawn, it's check from this rook. The king will move somewhere, and then I'll have queen takes rook. Okay, so rook takes rook, trade rooks to drag the king to h7. Rook takes rook is now check, but that has also unleashed this. And I imagine we just play queen takes rook. There's no other checks, no other captures yet, so that's the end. Okay, cool. It's funny, you know, I've not done this for a little while, and it shows because I'm not seeing the answers as quickly as I usually do. Isn't that bizarre? A little bit of a lack of practice. I mean, obviously we've got rook takes bishop here, but that's not going to do it because if rook takes bishop, we lose the rook. So I'm wondering if we just play check first so that this rook isn't here and then play rook takes bishop. I think that's probably right, isn't it? Yeah, now I can just take the bishop and black has nothing. Yeah, okay, fine. I was looking for that to be more complicated than it was. This one's easy. This is queen here. Check, only legal moves, king to the corner or king here, and then queen g7 is mate because you're supported by the pawn. So that's much easier. Checkmate. Okay. Now then, nothing whatsoever is being threatened down here by black, really. Knight there, check, we can take with the queen. So I think I want to play bishop takes. If king takes, I can then bring the queen in with check. And that must be really unpleasant. Knight here, check, first of all, just isn't going to do it because knight takes knight. There are no other checks or captures. I think this is going to be bishop takes bishop. Oh, and in fact, he's gone for knight takes here. Well, okay, so now it has to be queen takes knight. Yeah, that's the end of the puzzle. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe I'm looking for these early ones. I mean, it's only a 1200 strength puzzle. I'm perhaps looking for them to be more complicated than they are. This one is easy because the rook is pinned. If I put the other rook down here, I think we're just going to win material, aren't we? If the knight blocks to block the check, we can put the bishop here and just attack the knight again. So I think this is probably rook check. The knight goes there, and then I think bishop here just makes it almost impossible to defend this knight from rook takes. Have a quick look, but I'm pretty sure that's winning. Okay, so now I've just got to do things in the right order. Now, queen takes queen, knight takes, rook takes, knight goes back, rook takes knight, mate. Yeah, okay, so queen takes queen must be right. And that's the end of the puzzle. Okay, this one is easy. This is knight here, check. The pawn can't capture because it's pinned. So the king must go to the corner and then queen here. Not here because of the queen, but that will just win. So here, here, queen in the way and mate. Okay. Well, this is just similar to those back rank ones we saw earlier, but this time it's the knight that's defending. So queen takes pawn, king must go there, queen here. The knight will get back in the way, but then we can play knight here, knight to f7 and win that way. So queen here, check. I think we're going to go queen here, knight back's forced, knight here is mate. Yeah, okay, so queen checks, and that's checkmate. Cool. Okay, so if I go queen here, king across, then queen here, and we've got a really weird sort of epaulette mate coming. The knight, bishop would have to get in the way, and queen takes bishop would be mate. Yeah, so here, here, checkmate. I'll just leave the queen there for a sec because the pawn is guarding d6, so there's no escapes for the king. Okay, this is going to have to be a pawn check, and that's because the white king is the only thing guarding the knight from our king. So if we can distract the king away from g5, we can just win the knight. So that must be here. Didn't take the pawn, interesting, but takes, and that's the end of the puzzle. Okay. Got up to 28, so it's a pretty decent start, considering I've not really properly spotted a couple of them so far. I think this is similar to the last one, but this time it's the queen protecting the rook, and it's the only thing protecting the rook. So if I can just nudge the queen away, we can just play. We'll just be able to capture. So I think I want to play rook e3 to attack the queen. And the queen, as soon as it moves away, this rook on b2 isn't defended anymore. So I think this is here. Well, in fact, black has just chosen to sacrifice the queen. So rook takes queen, presumably. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is a nice pattern. This is a nice one. So the knight is guarding f7 and is also guarding h7, and that's key. If I can get my queen to this square that I'm flashing, it's actually checkmate. So we need some forcing moves to do it. And so we start with rook check. King has to take. Queen to h4 check. King has to go back. And now that's checkmate because the knight's defending the queen and the king can't go to f7 anyway because of the knight. So that's mate. Okay. Okay, I think rook here, king here is pretty much forced. Rook check. King is going to go here. No, that's not quite. And then we have rook. No, we don't. Hang on. Okay, that's not quite going to do it. Oh, hold on. What if I do the knight check first? The only legal, well, no, there's two legal moves. If king across, then rook here is the ladder mate with the two rooks. And if pawn takes knight, exactly the same. Yeah, okay, so it's this move check. Now the two rooks are guarding the 7th and 8th rank, so the only thing black can do is put the bishop in the way and then the rook in the way, and that's actually checkmate. So one rook is attacking the king and the other is preventing the escape on the 7th rank. Nice. Oh, this is, oh, maybe it's not. I was going to say rook here, but actually the king might be able to slip out that way, so perhaps not quite as obvious as I thought it was going to be. Okay, I feel like somewhere along the line I want to play rook check. If knight takes, rook takes. So we'd be checking, but then the king can run. And I'm not sure I've got enough pieces to dig the king out of that corner. So that might not quite do it. So what do I do? What do I do instead? Huh. Okay, what else have I got? Queen here, check. Oh, this is the answer. Right, this is the answer. Then if the king goes here, we have queen here, which is mate. Yeah, okay, so it's here. Then the knight must block their mate. Yeah, okay, this shouldn't be taking me this long, actually. I'm definitely a little bit rusty from missing some of these. Right, this one's a bit easier. So it's knight check. The rook is guarding these escapes, and the bishop is guarding along here, and that's crucial because the king will have to go here. The rook will check on this square, and we'll end up mating on h8. What am I talking about? Well, this. Check, check. And now because the bishop is guarding all there, rook here is mate. Wait, I didn't look then. What did white do? Bishop to e5. So okay, so it must be some sort of checkmate pattern, but what? Bishop here, king is forced across. Rooks here. No, that's not going to do it. Rook here, maybe? No, hold on. Right, this is more tricky. What have I missed? Bishop to this square is check. king must go here, but it's no good just moving the rook out the way because bishop takes bishop. I can't just play bishop. Oh yes, of course, it's here. It's got to be this. It's got to be this. And now after bishop, oh no, because the knight. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. That's checkmate. All right, so the bishop, this bishop guards this square. This bishop guards both of, oh dear, guards both of these squares. And so if I put the rook here, it's just mate, isn't it? I'm sort of there, but not quite there today. This is just bishop takes pawn because it just is check. If rook takes rook here is just going to be mate. And if the king goes across, then the bishop can take here, and that's mate. Yes, the bishop takes pawn, check. And the reason this is going to be mate is because the knight's guarding g2, so that's just the king trapped in the back rank. Okay. This, we're going to ignore this bishop altogether. This is very similar to the one we had a few minutes ago. So rook here, check. King must take. Queen to h4 check. King must go back, and then queen h2 will be mate because she's supported by the pawn. So check. Check and mate. Okay. So this, on the face of it, looks like an absolutely disgusting fork. It doesn't even look, it's not even on the face of it, it is a disgusting fork. Okay, and we are up to the 2000 strength puzzles, so I suppose they ought to be getting harder. What on earth am I doing here? What am I going to play here? Hold on, can I just ignore this? So if I play queen here, pawn takes rook becomes a queen, but then bishop here, there's absolutely no way for, yeah, it's there. Okay, now what? I think we play bishop takes rook because if pawn takes rook then queen here is mate. I think we just win a rook here. I think this is right. Yeah, now I can just move this out the way, presumably, and we're just a rook up. Cool, okay. This has to involve somehow forcing the rooks off the board and then marching my pawn forwards. Maybe I don't need to force the rooks off the board. Maybe I can just do this. So pawn forward, he's going to have to bring the rook across. We've got to be careful actually here. What if I play the rook check and then put the rook behind? Yeah, that might be better. So rook check. And then I can use this rook to guide the pawn in, can't I? Is that going to be right, or am I oversimplifying this? I think that's right. Yeah, and then I think... now I've got to be careful. If I push the pawn, rook check, king here. No, not king there because we lose this. So hold on, pawn push. If the rook goes here, we can block and we're winning. So that's okay. If the rook instead goes here with check, we can play king here. And then if rook across, we can go king here. But then we're dropping a rook. No, that's not going to do it. I think I've got to put the rook behind the pawn. I don't want to spend hours on these because it makes for boring videos, but I think I actually can't push the pawn straight away. I could be wrong, but I think I need to put the rook behind the pawn first. Ah, wrong. I should have taken longer on that. I really should. But as I say, I don't really want to just have these things take forever. So bishop takes queen by us. Bishop takes queen by our opponent. What are we down here? We're down a piece. So we've got to make this good. Bishop takes rook. Bishop takes rook. Bishop takes pawn. King takes. King takes bishop. Are we winning there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're not actually winning. So that probably isn't right. I'd love to get my queen there, but there's no way, surely we can. No, that's just, no, it's just too long. I was thinking of trying to get the queen here, here, but it's just too long for a puzzle. There's no way it's going to be that. So, what do we do? Oh, what if we play bishop takes rook first and then bishop takes queen? So bishop takes rook, bishop takes queen. Now bishop takes queen, bishop takes rook, king takes, knight takes. That's still not winning, is it? It's just even material. Oh, hold on. What about bishop takes? If queen takes, no, that's not going to do it. I must be missing something glaringly obvious here. I'm just not quite seeing it today. It's really strange. It's what you get if you don't practice. This will happen. Okay, so bishop takes bishop, queen takes is just a straight trade. That's not going to do it. We're trying to win here and we're a pawn down already, so we've got to do more than that. Bishop takes queen, bishop takes queen. Rook takes, knight take. No, that's not going to do it. That's not, yeah, no. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Bishop takes, king takes, king takes. That's not, no, that's just not doing it. That's equal. What am I missing? I don't know. And it's annoying. Takes. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Oh man, this is really frustrating. Really frustrating. Terribly out of practice. It really isn't anything to do with just marching the queen around here and ignoring everything, is it? So queen here. So if I play here, bishop takes, queen here, he's struggling to defend this square, h5, queen here. I wonder if it is this. It looks... No, I'm just not seeing it today. I'm really just not seeing it. Yeah. That was an easy one. I'm just not seeing them. It's very, very weird. Very, very, very strange. This one's going to be rook takes, rook, king takes, and then queen takes pawn, I should think. To be honest, I'm feeling a little bit meh at the moment. Not ill, just, yeah, just rusty, just proper out of practice. Okay, let's see if we can crack 40, because I've always said 40 is the point at which I think it's not been awful. I mean, bishop takes pawn is a move. But with the rook pointing at my queen, no. Oh, hang on. What about bishop here? Does that do anything? Bishop here, because this can't take because queen takes rook. Oh, that might be the move. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So then I've just got to find the right follow-up. So bishop takes bishop. That moves. We've obviously got to do something about this square because queen takes is checkmate. So that would be a bit unpleasant. Is it just g3? I can't see anything else I can do except g3 here. It's got to be g3. Got no other way to defend the square. It has to be g3. Yeah, okay, that was the end of the puzzle. Okay, well, we've got to 40, so that's not so bad. Queen here, rook takes, we just hide there, and then there's no more checks. So that's just winning. So that should be there. Don't play rook takes rook, just do that. Yeah. And after there, oh, be careful. We just want black to run out of checks. Here, yeah, good. Okay, 41, so semi-rescued it. Right, queen there, king just escapes, and I've got no more checks, so that won't do it. Queen here is going to block, but it is a check. What about pawn here attacking the queen? Because then my bishop actually gets a chance to get involved. Maybe that's good. I'm actually slightly tilty here in the sense that I don't want to spend ages thinking about these all of a sudden because I messed up those other ones. Yeah. And on my real puzzle grade, I'm actually around 2600, so I'm a bit annoyed, but never mind. Well, check there, he just blocks. Check there, he just escapes. There's no, it's got to be there. Yeah, it is there. Okay. So now the next thing is, what on earth do I do here? I reckon bishop here is check. Oh, I'm actually an idiot. I meant to do that as an arrow and click the left button by mistake. But anyway, I was thinking the bishop could go there and then the queen here. Whatever. Let's have a quick look at the ones that we got wrong just to see what they should have been. So here's the first one. White's move, sorry, black's move was there. I was right, but no, I wasn't. No, that's not what we did. Hang on. Hold on. No, that was correct. And then I wasn't sure if I could push the pawn, if I had to put the rook behind it. So presumably it is push the pawn. It has to be here. It's not there. That's what I overlooked. Okay, so where do I go here? Do I just put the, I put the rook in the way, and then I put the rook in the way, and then we win. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, okay, right. Pause for a sec while I find the next one. Okay, so this one was bishop here. I actually can't even remember what I tried here. Right, so yes, I tried to see if you could march the queen, but that was after I'd already said I didn't even think it was right. So takes, it is bishop takes. But how is this winning? This can't be this. I ruled this out during the game. The desperado bishop, it can't be that. It's not that. So, all right. So in that case, what is it that I missed? Is it? Oh, hold on. What if we play? Oh, it's there. That's what I missed in the game. We just attack the rook. And now when the rook moves somewhere, then we can play king takes bishop and we're a piece up. Oh, is all I've got to say about that. I'm so rusty. This is rust, big time rust. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So the move played was there. So I was right about this, but then I just assumed it would be queen, bishop here, check, but it isn't. We can't go there or there with check. So maybe it's queen here. Oh, and then it's a distraction, isn't it? But no, that's not, huh? Because I mean, bishop here, check, if king takes, queen takes rook, but what if the king just goes there? Well, all right, let's see. What? Well, queen takes rook. Okay, but hang on, I want to go back a minute here. So what happens if the king goes, let's get the analysis board on this one because I want to just see. So yes. I got there. Now, what happens if the king goes to e2? Oh, queen e5. Oh, right. Okay. Queen e5. So you line up the queen to the king. And it's -2, so black -3. Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, well, all right, let's see where we got on the leaderboard. I don't think we'll have got anywhere. That was a meh effort today. The hourly leaderboard, well, there's a grandmaster at the top of it who only got 53 themselves. Oh, well, okay. Okay, we would have crept onto the leaderboard maybe on another day when I was perhaps a little bit more on it. I really wasn't focusing today. And actually, there's a grandmaster there that only got 45. A FIDE master there only got 44. So maybe it wasn't so awful after all. Okay, well, it is what it is. Nobody's perfect all the time. And I will say very much out of practice on Puzzle Rush. I think it's probably 3 weeks since I did one of these. So not to worry. We'll have another go next week at some point, I expect. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.